So we're going to look at the May 2017 exam question for the club count, which is Community Cricket Club for the year ended 31st of December 2017. Okay, so the 31st of December 17. So again, if we look at the question, look at your requirements, calculate the accumulated fund as at the 1st of January 2017. Prepare the shop trading account for the year ended 31st of December 2017. And then prepare the club's income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st of December 17 and the statement of accumulated fund as at that date. Okay, so let's look at our question here. So again, we have our assets at the 31st of December 2016, our assets and liabilities, I should say, at December 16, and our assets and liabilities at the 31st of December 17 listed under here. Then we've got our receipts and our payments. So similar to our bank account, on the debit side here is our money coming in, our shop takings and our subscriptions received, and on our credit side is our money going out on this side here. So we have remember for our bank, our balance carried down in our bank here is on the credit side at the start of the year. So we just see here on our credit side here we have a balance carried down of €6,700. So that is our bank balance, but on the credit side, which means it's a liability to us. So then we have at the end of the year, we have our balance to be carried down over here, €72,850. So our balance to be carried down €72,850, and that's going to have to be brought down here onto our debit side, and that'll be balance to be carried down over here, and that'll be 72,850. Okay, and that'll be our balance over here brought down. 72,850, which will go into our accumulated fund at the end of the year. So we're going to start off and calculate the accumulated fund at the 1st of January 17. So I'm going to be using all my figures over here on under my 31st of December 2016 one here first. Okay, so we go in here and we're going to set that up. So it's called Community Cricket Club accumulated fund at the 1st of January 17, and we have our assets and we have our liabilities. So if you just go down through your question there, so we've got our playing field first, which is 200,000, and our playing field is an asset. Shop inventories 5,500, so inventories always an asset, 5,500. Then we've got a clubhouse at cost, and we have a note one for that is 150,000. So our clubhouse can go in first, 150,000. And the note one then, the clubhouse was purchased on the 1st of January 2011 and has been depreciated on a straight line basis over 50 years. Okay, so we're going to have to work out our accumulated depreciation at the start of the year. So I'm going to go into my workings for that. So my depreciation for my clubhouse. My clubhouse cost 150,000 and that was bought on the 1st of January 2011. So I need to see how much depreciation has been claimed so far. So find out how much per year first depreciation I'm going to be charging. So it's 150,000 is my cost divided by 50 years, which gives me €3,000 per year. And then up to the 1st of January 17, how much depreciation has been claimed up to the 1st January 17. So it was claimed in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2016. So that is 6 years. So at the 1st of January 17, it's €3,000 has been claimed by 6 years, which gives me €18,000. And that's going to be my figure. It's going to go into my accumulated fund at the 1st of January 2017. Then I need my depreciation expense for the year of 17, which is €3,000. That's going to go into my expense inside my income and expenditure account. And then I'm going to add the 18,000 and the 3,000 together to give me 21,000. And that's going to be my accumulated depreciation at the 31st of December 17, and that's going to go into my accumulated fund at the 31st of December 2017. So back over to my accumulated fund at the 1st of January 1st. So I've put in my little accumulated depreciation working one, and that is minus 18,000. Okay, so back over then into our listing again, and we're down as far as subscriptions in advance, and subscriptions in advance are €6,100. So subscription in advance are a liability. So under my liability section, I'm going to have 6,100. Shop payables. So payables are always a liability, €3,500. Subscriptions in arrears are an asset. So they're subscriptions that are owed into the club. Going to go into my asset section up here. And then electricity due, €240. That's like an accrual that's owed to me for electricity, €240. And then don't forget your bank figure. So into your receipts and payment section, and inside here in our bank, we balance carry down of €6,700, and that's going to be our figure. That's going to be a liability inside my accumulated fund at the start of the year, €6,700. So add up your assets. So you're adding up all your figures from the 200,000 down to 3,300. Then we're going to add up all our liabilities. So from 6,100 down to 6,700 is 16,540. And then take our 340,800 less our 16,540 gives me my accumulated fund at the start of the year, €324,260. That's my first part done for 5 marks. Then I recommend doing your workings next for the rest of the question before we tackle anything else. So where you see you have an opening balance, a closing balance, and a figure inside in our receipts and payments, you're going to have to do a little working for it. So you'll always have to do a working for subscriptions. If you look here, you have shop payables, you have an opening figure of 3.5, a closing figure of 2.8, and then you also have bar purchases, I'd say, inside here. Sorry, shop purchases. So inside here, see we've shop purchases of 26,200. So we're going to have to see, is that the correct figure? Then we have electricity due. So we have electricity due at the start, electricity due at the end, and we also have a heat and light figure inside here in the sheet. And it also tells us 25% of the heat and light relates to the club shop. So if 25% is for the shop, means 75% is for the club itself. So let's do out our little workings for them there. So shop purchases. So we're going to minus the amount due at the 1st of January 17. So we minus the amount due, which was 3,500. Then paid per the receipts and payments, which will be on my credit side there. And my shop purchases were 26,200. Then plus the closing amount that's due. And if you look over the shop payables, the closing amount due of 2,800. And we add all those up, gives us 25,500. And that's going to be my purchase figure inside in my shop trading account. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into our payment section here. So where we have 26,200, we're going to cross that out, and we're going to make that instead 25,500 and working 2 alongside it. Then the other one we have, next one we have is the heat and light. So heat and light is €1,000. Sorry, just 1 minute there now. Heat and light, 25% from note 2 is for the shop. So €1,000 by 25% is 250. And then by 75%, €1,000 by 75% for the income and expenditure account is €750. Then I have my subscriptions in advance and my subscriptions in arrears. So I'm going to start off with my T account here. So subs in arrears are always an asset to us. So in on my debit side, and just check there, my subs in arrears are €3,300. So they're always an asset in there on my debit side. Okay, and then they're going to have to be at the end of the month, or at the end of the year, sorry, they're going to have to be put in on the debit side again. So if we cross over there, we have a figure of 5,100 for subs in arrears at the end of the time. And then these would have come down from up here. So subs in arrears, they're going to be carried down. Carried down are 5,100. Okay, and subs in arrears brought down 5,100 euro. Then my subs in advance. So look at subs in advance at the start of the year were 6,100, and these are always a liability to us. So subs in advance, 6,100, and a liability always goes in on the credit side. So at the end of the year, our subs in advance, which are brought down here, will have to go in on the credit side too, because remember, they're a liability, and the liability always comes in on the credit side, which is 4,300, and then they would start it up here as subs in advance to be carried down at the end of the period. So subs in arrears, an asset, subs in advance, a liability. Then we need to go into our receipts and payments. So if we go into our receipts and payments, you see inside here, we have subscriptions received. So our subscriptions received here are 99,100 euro. And they're going to go into, we debited our receipts, so debited our bank. And now we're going to credit our subscriptions account, which is inside here, 99,100 euro. Then I need to get my account to actually balance off. So what I've done is I've taken this side here, my credit side, and added it up, and I got 110,300. So I need to make it balance with 110,300 over here. So I have 110,000 less 3,300 less 4,300, which gives me 102,700 euro, and that's going to be my figure, which will go into my income and expenditure account when I'm doing it. So instead of 99,100, I'm going to cross that out, and that should be 102,700 euro, and that is working for. Okay, and then I have one working left. I have electricity. So electricity is due at the end of the time, which means electricity is an accrual to me. So I'm going to minus my opening accrual, or my opening amount due at the 1st of January 17, and that is 240 euro. Paid per the receipts and payments account, which will be there on my credit side, and that is 900 euro. Then plus any amount that's due at the end of the time. And if you go over under the 31st of December 17, you have a figure of 310 euro. And that's going to go in there as a plus figure. And we're going to add all them up. And that is 970 euro, which will go into my income and expenditure account. So inside your receipts and payments, instead of a figure of 900 euro for electricity, which is here, we're going to cross that out. And instead we're going to put in a figure of 970 euro. And that is working for. So we're crossing out the 900 and making it 970 euro instead. Okay, and then I'm ready to start my shop trading account. So I'm going to head up my shop trading account. And this is Community Cricket Club shop trading account for the year ended the 31st of December 2017. Okay, and I'm going to start off with my sales. So my sales, so into the debit side of your receipts and payments, and see inside here, we have shop takings 35,000. So it's the 35,000 there is going to come in as my shop takings. Then I've got my cost of sales, which is my opening inventory, plus my purchases, less my closing inventory. So my opening inventory is 5,500 euro. So above, inside in my shop inventories there, 5,500, and then my closing inventory is 4,800, plus my purchases here. So from working to, I have my shop purchase of 25,500. So if I add all them up, so it's my 5,500 plus 25,500 less 4,800 gives me 26,200. and 26,200 from 35,000 gives me €8,800. Then I need to look at my expenses. So I need all the expenses that are related to the shop itself. So my first one there is wages for a part-time shop worker, and that is €4,000. So I'm going to use that. Then we have heat and light, and remember from working 3, we said in our workings here, 25% of the heat and light was for the shop. So that is €250 coming into my trading account. And you go down through it then and see is there anything else that we should be putting in. So we have travel expenses, ground repairs, water charges, insurance, electricity. And we're not told that any of this is for the shop. So we're going to have to take it that it's for the club itself. So my two expenses, 4,000 plus 250 is 4,250. So my gross profit here of 8,800 less my expenses of 4,250 gives me a net profit of €4,550. And that's my shop trading account done. Then my next item to do is my income and expenditure account. Okay, so we're going to set that up now. So we're going to have Community Cricket Club, Income and Expenditure account, and this is for the year ended the 31st of December 2017, and you're starting off with your income section first. So we have our shop profits, our first item in here, and that came over from my shop trading one here, 4,550. Then my subscriptions, which came from working 4. Just to give a look at working 4 there. So my subscriptions here, so it's this figure here I'm going using, €102,700. And we add both of those figures together, the 4,550 plus the 102,700 gives me €107,250. Then I need to go down through my expenses. So we have expenses to put in. Okay, and they're going to come from the credit side of my receipts and payments account there. So we down through them. So we've heat and light. That came from working 3 because remember 250 went to the trading account, 750 is for the club account itself. Then we list out all your expenses. So we've travel expenses for 14,000. We've ground repairs for 3,400. We've water charge at 250. We've insurance of 4,800. Then electricity, and I've done a little working for electricity. So if I come back over here, working 5 for electricity was €970. And then we have depreciation, which is coming from working 1. Let's just look at working 1 there now, with my depreciation figure there of €3,000 for 2017. And they're all my expenses. So I'm just going to add up all my expenses then. So you're adding from the 750 down to the 3,000, which gives me €27,170. And then you take your 107,250 less your 27,170, which gives you a surplus of €80,080 for that particular year. Then my next job is to do my accumulated fund. Okay, so this is my Community Cricket Club, and it is statement of accumulated fund as at the 31st of December 2017. So again, we're going to do our non-current assets and we're going to do our current assets, okay, for our first item starting off. So our non-current assets always set up your cost, accumulated depreciation, and your net book value. So this time now, we're going to be taking our figures from our 31st of December 2017 here. So we're working down to this line here, and then not to forget our bank figure over here as well. So my first one there is my playing field of 200,000, and then I'll also have my clubhouse as well to put into my non-current assets. So my playing field is 200,000. It's not being depreciated, so my net book value is 200,000. Then my clubhouse, okay, my cost is 150,000. But I've accumulated depreciation, which I got from working 1. So if you look at working 1 here, I've said earlier on, my accumulated fund at the start my accumulated depreciation at the start of the year plus my expense for the current year gives my accumulated depreciation at the end of the year, which is 21,000, which I've put in here now. So 150,000 less the 21,000 gives me 129,000. So I add these two figures, which gives me 350,000 less my accumulated depreciation, which gives me my net book value of 329,000. And that's my non-current assets. My current assets then, we need to work down through my headings. So shop inventories, 4,800 are an asset. Subscriptions in advance are always a liability, so they're going to go into my current liabilities. Shop payables, a liability, which will go into liabilities. Subscriptions in arrears, always an asset to us. So subs in arrears, €5,100. Then my last heading there is electricity due. So that's like electricity as an accrual. So that's a liability to us. So that'll go into my liability section. And then don't forget your bank figure. So remember, your bank figure started up here as a brought down figure, and it's brought down on my debit side. So anything on my debit side here means it's an asset to me, and that's €72,850. So I add up my three figures here, my 4,800, my 5,100, 72,850, which gives me €82,750. So €82,750 plus 329,000 gives me €411,750. That's my asset side taken care of. Then I need to do my accumulated fund side and my current liability side. That's my next headings I need to take care of. So I'm starting with my accumulated fund at the 1st of January 17, which is our very first item we worked out, and that was coming from here. We've €324,260, which I'm transferring in here now to my accumulated fund, plus my surplus from my income and expenditure account, and that's coming from here, the €80,080. Okay, and we add both of them together. So we have 324,260 plus 80,080, which gives me 404,340. Then we've got to look for my current liabilities. So if you go back into under your heading of 31st of December 17, we've got subscriptions in advance are 4,300. Then we've got shop payables, 2,800. And then we've got electricity due, or electricity accrual. Okay, so it's an accrual. And that is €310. I'm going to add those three figures up. So 4,300, 2,800 and €310 gives me €7,410. Okay, and then we add both of them together. So when you add your 404,340 plus your 7,410, that gives you 411,750, which has your account balancing off again. Again, as I said, it's not about getting out your balancing figure here. It's about getting your marks for all your little figures along as you do it. And again, let's look at the solution here from the examiner. And just to see his marking scheme there again. So that was question 5. So for question 5, again, he's given his marks down along for all the accumulated fund at the start. He's given a mark here for putting the correct heading in the shop trading account, and your marks for putting in the correct figures here. A mark then for putting in your heating and lighting, just for multiplying it by the 25%, for putting in your wages. Then he's done the little bar payables, or the shop payables, and again you can do that in the plus and minus, and you get your full marks for that as well. Then you have the community cricket club, and again look at your marks here for putting in your heading correctly, and then your marks down along for bringing everything into the right spot. Then again, do a little subscriptions T account. It's way easier doing the T account. Then electricity, he's given little marks for working that out, and again there's marks going for putting them in, for having your amount due at the start as a minus figure and your amount at the end as a plus figure. Okay, and then again, look at the marks here for putting in your heading correctly, and then the marks for putting in the items in the correct either non-current assets or current assets, or into cumulative fund or into your current liabilities down along the page there.